We'll be like boom, like boom,
Or you
boom,
fire service. This thing.
The sound bites be like
Sound
that. Like
song, you know. So where did you go find this guy for?
I don't know, man. He needs to be around, man. What the heck is Logic? Where is he? He's supposed to be here. And the Dawn. People.
He will come. They don't go wait. You have the final take for today. For very obvious reasons. You would like to have the final bite.
Well, let's see. Hey, folks. So it's now time for Showbiz Review. I see the conversation on Twitter and it's getting funnier by the minute. Why people they like beef so? People like beef too much.
It be ingrained in human nature. We like titillating stuff by nature, human beings. We like the things that they pick our interest. Maybe, you know. I mean, it's gradually becoming a good category for entertainment and letting out. Anyway.
All right, so listeners, Showbiz Review is proudly brought to you by Vodafone. Vodafone says Christmas has come early for all Vodafone Cash subscribers. Your secure and convenient Vodafone Cash is the only network offering you a chance to send money to all network via Vodafone Cash free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. Free! No other network can give you such an amazing offer except Vodafone Cash. Just send any amount to loved ones as many times as you want on any network without paying any charge. Zero. I know DJ Premier uses Vodafone and Vodafone Cash, so he sends money free of charge. So what are you waiting for? Make payments, show your love, make contributions, send money all you want via Vodafone Cash to all network for free. Dial *110# to send money for free. Ready? Sorry? Which one be that?
America.
It's good you brought this up. You know, yesterday, in fact, I got a bit angry.
Yeah.
And I even posted it. What's all this Kumerica nonsense about? No, because
Kumerica to the world. What
is Kumerica?
You know this street now.
I was in Kumasi yesterday.
No,
and I had gone to a joint to eat. And immediately after the meal, some guy approached me. Big bro, good morning. I said, good morning. Kumerica for life. I'm like, yo. The way the guy came to me,
the movement is strong and appetite.
You know, yesterday I wore this t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I wore sneakers.
Yeah.
And a pair of shorts.
Typical Kumerica.
So I was like, the guy came to me, big bro, good morning. I said, good morning, Kumerica for life. I'm like, what at all is this going? And so it refreshed my memory because I had seen some young guys
doing some
American things and you know with wearing winter coats, winter jackets.
Now because of Kumerica, Ricky, when you see me, they go do.
Which one is that?
So for a lot of the songs, if you don't get for a sign nature,
it's not from Kumerica.
No, but I mean it's you know, Kumasi has always been known for hip hop, even though we don't like to, or hip life, even though we don't like to.
Hip life, exactly, yeah.
Even though we don't like to. Oh, even when you're talking about hip life, often what I've read is that beyond mentioning Ochami, Kofi, Lord Kenya, Ancestors, Kwade, and Co. People don't like to refer to Kumasi
as the hub of,
as one of the hubs that nurtured hip life.
Not one of the. I mean, Kumasi was like
was a hub,
the go-to place.
You know, so it's always been just that at a point in time when hip hop took a more, or hip life, I mean, the hop culture took a more niche position in Ghana. It seemed to have, gone down. But lately, what we are seeing is that we're seeing a lot of young people coming together, leveraging what has existed in the hip hop world, and creating, sort of a movement. You know, and doing their Asaka music or Asaka rap.
Which one is Asaka music?
It's Asaka, so it's like
what
rap.
Is Asaka?
It's their version of the rap. Or
how come I don't know all
because
of these
you know
things?
Dave Kumasi Street.
Oh no, no, baby, you know me.
No, but it's not a matter of being in Kumasi Street. It's for me. I think that it's just the curiosity of following everything, anything relative to our industry. That's why.
Okay, fine. But you see, when I posted that, what's all this Kumerica nonsense about, I realized that a lot of people, some were even insulting me yesterday.
Because it's not nonsense.
Then,
depending on where you sit.
It took just one person to change my mind.
Yeah.
So the guy came at me, not DM me, or someone went to post. They took screenshots of it, went to post that, can you imagine that this is what Andy Dusty is saying, our very own Andy Dusty, instead of supporting the movement. So I was like, what apart from the young guys portraying the Akata movement, with the winter jackets, posing with wines and giving shout out to Shatawale,
so Kumasi movement. Some Kumasi joints get Yonki news already. Maybe somebody's listening. They can give us a list by.
Oh man, they posted it. They posted it.
So they get
I saw it.
What you said that you did Kumasi? Then where you from?
Oh, but I'm Ashtown. But yesterday I was at Ashtown.
Okay,
Ashtown would be in New Jersey or something like that. I'm like, what is happening? You see, the reason I didn't really like, or I don't subscribe to it, is because if we are not careful, we'll lose our roots.
Yeah.
So that was my main reason. Like, Charlie, why don't we champion Osekrum like Kumasi or Osekrum?
And so let me take you back to the beginnings of Hip Life. When Hip Life started, you remember, a lot of the older folks that were there, for instance, didn't want to accept it because they thought it was going to alter our tradition.
Not only Osekrum, I mean, it was everywhere.
No, it was not even also, even here.
Yeah.
Until such a time when the likes of Achame and Obrafo started to do
Reggie
Rockstone, a more songs
commercial.
songs that resonated with even the older folks, with the whole high life element, why says and all of that. So it started to dawn on them that a movement had been birthed. It also took a certain guidance and direction by people, elders of then. It's the same thing that I see happening. Some of the boys have a certain, they have talent. I mean, there's the Coco Flakes of the world. There are a number of them. At this point, rather than push it away, I think a certain form of guidance of a sort could help them unlock.
Sorry, not to dilute. Okay,
because
not to rubbish
back
it.
on the music map again.
Not to rubbish it. My disagreement.
Do you hear of dead people?
Excuse me.
Dead people.
Dead people. Who's dead people?
You have a song called Otanhuni.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Yeah. I remember you even posted that.
So,
yes.
So take a look at what dead people.
You know what they've been doing? Are they Kumasi boys?
Yes.
Really? Yeah, this is news to me. I don't know them.
I got to know them through Zion Felix. I mean, the first time I think I saw them.
So you see, Felix. We're here, but you see, they won't even reach out.
And be reaching out to you be difficult.
No. Oh, difficult. Say what? They've been tagging me.
Big man, Andy.
Oh, come on, me. I'm not. I'll be big man, really. No, I've been here.
Yeah,
Imagine, if you see, I was chatting with someone a few days ago, and I was telling him that, look, if Shatawale, Sarkodie, Stone Boy, Samini, name them, Kaboom, Ochame Kwame. Okay, I'm glad I said you are very close to me, but name the big top there. Yes. Why is it that they can easily pick a phone and say, oh, big bro, maybe I want you to help me in this direction. I want you to do this. I want you. Some go to the extent of inviting me to the studio.
Andy.
Do you understand? So me, this not be big boy matter.
Early in my career, there was something Mark had said to me that always sticks with me. Contemporaries work. Or a certain level of relationship. Look, sometimes you don't blame some of these musicians when they come up. They keep hitting a lot of roadblocks and a certain level of lack of attention that they begin to develop their own networks of making it, and so when they find that rhythm, mind you, it's not everybody that knows how to, apart from creating a song in the studio, how to make it a hit.
Right.
That is why it's often said that for a lot of people that get a bigger hit, the more reason why sometimes it's difficult for them to come back and get a bigger hit again and maintain is that
difficult.
As this, the way the hit came, sometimes they don't even understand it. They don't get it. They've not codified it well. So those that understand it and codify it, they keep turning it around again. So a lot of these youngsters, they keep hitting a lot of roadblocks. And also because there's a certain specific industrial funnel to say, okay, we're going to grow a certain, every year or every quarter, we're going to grow 6 or 7 new stars or anything like that. Like, because there's no that conscious attempt, they begin to find their own networks until they meet somebody that can. So me, I chanced on Dead People's song online, and I thought, oh, this is a good song, and I tweeted it. Then it turns out that they were at Zion Felic's event. Then Nelson, a guy who runs Arkans, brought them to me because he thought that I was supporting them. So that's it. And then I've always been on the lookout for them. So often, sometimes, until there is such, they would want to walk into their own networks. Then there's a certain chance happening. Sometimes shall it not be their fault?
No, I'm not saying it's their fault. Yes, reach out. Look, Kojo Q, I'm with P Weasel almost every time. Kaboom. Yeah. This guy is on my phone. I'm like,
contemporaries.
Apart from
Kaboom has been with you, has known you for more than 10 years.
No, what are you talking about? When I saw Kaboom, he was like, what, 15?
Yes,
15?
same as Kojo Q, P Weasel, the Q guys.
P Weasel, Kojo Q, I saw him when he was 3 years old.
Exactly. So that level of relationship makes them easy. Like, even me till now, I go to studios to listen to. Look, I was in R2B's studio, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, listening to the album. Also because I was trying to create a certain deal of a sort with some organization that I was working for in Ghana, So, I mean, I spent time I went to Kilbit because I remember Kilbit is we are contemporaries. A lot of people don't know how, for instance, the song Kiss Your Hand came about with, what's it called, Wandiko. A lot of us played a role in that, but it goes way back at the time when we did some work for MTV then. So it be contemporaries. It be easy. It could be if you call me and insult me on something, but it be cool. Be fight. I go to your house, make I go listen to your songs or Henny and all of those things. So the contemporary Erasmus today, the contemporary network works. You get what I'm saying? Albert will call me every time. I'll go listen to, because we'll be contemporaries. The networks work. And if you reach out to Logic, if you reach out to me on something. But a lot of these youngsters, until they go through somebody, so until we create a certain funnel that says, okay, Charlie, for a lot of the Kumasi people, dead people, all of these people, you need to come through here. Sometimes, Charlie, they go walking until we have a chance like this to talk about them, and then we see that, okay, we need to give them opportunity. But you need to find a song and play it.
No, I've heard it. I mean, it's
so that song honestly, is a Kumerica product.
No, no, but you see, I have nothing. My problem is the mockery.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'm proud of where I come from. I need that pride from the people who hail from where we're from, the natives.
No, but you need to understand that for a lot of creative movement starts at
yesterday when I posted it, I realized that a lot of people were not trying. They
have fun. They troll.
Well, they're trolling.
No, but what I'm saying is
my
that
beef.
There are positives.
Why must they? Do you see they troll? And then it's like they are not looking at it from that angle, but they're just having fun. And we take the bullets.
And we sit here. And you need to understand something. In this day of social media, if you don't do anything, self they go troll you.
Oh, come on.
You sit your place, self they go troll you. So what would you rather do?
How long must this continue?
No, but I'm saying no. But it is a nature. You need to take the positives out of the negatives. Look, when dancehall came, even till today. Do you know the number of people that are saying it is not your culture, it's somebody's culture? Somebody's taking the positives out of it. Somebody's looking at it and saying, well, it may not have emanated from Ghana. However, some of our biggest stars that have gone on to impact the world came through this. So that be the positives. Same thing. Kumerica may look fun and a troll-worthy activity. However, there are positives in it. I just mentioned dead people. There's Kweku Flake, who is also coming from it. In fact, there's actually a whole playlist on streaming platforms with Kumerica with a lot of these songs in there. So these guys have able to create their own funnels, right, to support a certain movement. But I'm saying there are some inherent goodness in it. So take a look at it. Take the good out of the bad. Shape it, guide it, and some of these good out of the bad can helm it and bring Kumasi back on the map.
I support the music. I support whatever movement. My worry is the mockery. That's it.
It's from New Jersey. Ashtown, New Jersey.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Listeners, well, it's time for Mr. Logic. Mr. Logic, good morning.
Andy, good morning.
But why? What the wrong you
I'm late because something happened on my way here, Charlie.
Why?
Women. Until this morning, Parliament said when the shade deserve some respect, man. When the shade this morning, you earn my respect. And they go watch something on my car buying. Some TV past the road. This morning, I respect when the shade serious.
Listeners, we'll be right back when we come back. Kumerica viewing. It's Showbiz Review, brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Tri-Steel Roofing Company Limited, and Betway. Now, Betway says, well, Europe's best are back. Betway is giving you the opportunity to bet on every match in the remaining rounds of the Champions League and stand a chance to win a share of 30,000 Ghana cedis in cash. Visit betway.com.gh to place your bet now. Betway, for the love of the game. No under 18, bet the responsible way. Now, let's get into our stories. We will build a digital platform to help market works of artists, says the MPP. As part of their 2020 Manifesto promises, the New Patriotic Party has stated that they will create a digital platform to aid creatives in Ghana. This was made known during the party's manifesto launch at Cape Coast on Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, by the acting director of the National Folklore Board, Nanajwa Dubia Santi. We will build a digital platform for artists to make their products available for the global market, she said. In 2018, a similar attempt was made by the government to provide a digital platform to market Ghanaian music and movies. Ejako TV and Lumba TV were launched as platforms to help promote movies and music from Ghana. The former Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Catherine Afeku, at a Meet the Press session at the Information Ministry, said the launch of the platforms were part of efforts to promote local content. According to her, they were in the business of placing Ghanaian content at the disposal of viewers throughout the world, and the artists are signed on to produce popular content, including already existing content that will run as a series in the name of the artists, and it is already showing on most of their mobile phones. However, the two platforms of the initiative have not been functional. The marketability of creative arts products in recent times is mainly hinged on digital platforms. These platforms have proven to be very effective in reaching large audiences and maximizing profit for the creatives. So far, platforms like Netflix, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Afternoon, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Boomplay, among others, have proven to be viable means of selling works of arts by entertainers. Other promises made by the NPP in their 2020 manifesto are the construction of the remaining theaters after the construction of one in Koforidua, the provision of recording studios in Kumasi, Tema, Accra, and Takoradi, and the setting up of the Creative Arts Fund. Now let's listen to Nanajwa Dubia Santi when she spoke on the issue.
Nana Adjoa Adobia Asante Esquire speaks on our creative diversity.
The NPP is driving the consistent in connecting the country's talents to the world, putting Ghana on the global platform.
His Excellency the President gave tourism an immense boost in the celebration of the Year of Return, which was internationally touted and drew a lot of visitors into the country, resulted in the generation of about $3.3 billion into the economy of Ghana.
Creative art people, we deserve better. We deserve the best. And where I sit and what I see so far in the history of Ghana when it comes to creative arts, the only president who has given us enough recognition, who has given us hope, who believes in it, who believes in what we do, is to tell you that he's a stakeholder in this space. And so give him 4. So I support 4 more for Nana.
Medinde, Lawyer Nanajwa Adobia Asante, Director of the National Folklore Board. Otiko Koso, Nenana Eneme. The creative arts industry was left to wallow in neglect when the serious business of governance found its way into the hands of Mr. Menyade Enso Montreal Libium. The only creativity they cared about was to fabricate a green book of ghost achievements and propaganda However, the Nana Addo Dankwa-led government has been absolutely committed to the creative arts industry. What he says he will do, he does. His Excellency inaugurated the National Film Authority in December last year. This was a promise made and delivered. We walk the talk. Did we not promise to establish a creative arts court? We have delivered. Indeed, days of disregard for the rights of creative artists is coming to an end. Goodbye to stealing the scripts of script writers. Goodbye to stealing the beats of beat makers. Goodbye to refusing to pay musicians for their performances. Oh, goodbye to stealing the work of animators for adverts. The dynamism of the National Folklore Board has brought attention to an institution once left for dead. Munim said, as promised, government has also started the construction of theaters in every region. Koforidia, Yerie, Kumasi, Yeguso, Tamale, Nitakrade, round 2, Ebebaso. And in there, the government is also working to have the Creative Arts Bill passed. This bill, when passed, will establish the Creative Arts Fund. As a visionary government, the Nana Akufo-Addo-led government has also commenced the construction of the very first Creative Arts Senior High School. If this is not a visionary, then what is? Did you know the year of return has brought about renewed interest in investments in Ghana? Tourism boomed, foreign investments grew. We cannot afford to let our rejuvenated industry fall into the hands of these Matra and Makwe people. Sankofa Wedie, Yechipa. We see great fortunes in a Nana Addo-led government. Great fortunes for the poet, the musician, the art writer, the script writer, the filmmaker, the dancer, the model, and the events organizers, and indeed, all our creative artists. Nyom tufo mipacho mutieme. Underground artists, Moshaho. Round 2 will be a very happy time for us. The MPP government will construct recording studios in Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, and Takrade. The MPP government will also further promote and commercialize the work of our artists. Government shall invest in the building of digital platforms to make the products available on a global market. We are presented with the opportunity to give His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo 4 more to do more. This is not just a slogan, but a call to action, a call to protect our progress. This election is about you. This election is about me. This election is about Ghana.
Hitz FM.
So, well, Sadiq.
Andy, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Yeah, I can understand why, for instance, Mark didn't read this. Or I can understand why Mark didn't present this particular one. And they had to choose fall on the acting director of the Folklore Board, because quite clearly, if Mark or any of the creative arts for change people that were involved in helping to bring this government to power were actively involved, I doubt this was going to be what they are going to put up. So first off, let's look at the first part that she's talking about. So she engaged in a lot of palpable falsehoods, a lot of lies. Step 1. The MPP made 18 promises to the tourism, culture, and creative arts space. Out of the 18 promises, 6 of these promises are targeted at the creative arts or the creative economy. As we stand today, Andy, here, now, 4 months to election, none of it has been achieved yet. None. I think that, the MPP will do itself a lot of favor if they stop listening to themselves. They stop doing all that senseless propaganda. This is not on. This is plain disrespect for you, for a party that got the goodwill of the creative community and got the active participation of the creative arts people to help them come to power, and making massive promises to the sector and not able to achieve it, and wasting the time of the creative arts people for 4 years, 4 months to an election. What we expect now is a genuine attempt at explaining away your challenges, possibly even an apology, and trying to make amends. What do they take us for when they come to us and tell us that they built the theatres? The MPP promised 9 large ultra-modern seating theatres in 9 regions. And now, as it stands now, they should point to me which of the 9 large seating theatres they've made or they've created. She says they've done it. When they go to Kofodia, the CNC building, which was there and had been done by Rollins from time immemorial, you just went to paint it and then did some change locks of doors and everything, and then you're coming here to say you've created a theater. Are you serious? Beyond that, Kumasi Apatakese, and you are from Kumasi. Kumasi 4, if you are listening to us, if you have a theater in Kumasi, let us know. If you have a large ultra-modern theater, let us know. So first off, they've not achieved that. And none, as we stand here 4 months to election, none of the promises they've made had been delivered yet. None. Just last week, we were told that the Creative Arts Bill had been approved by Cabinet. Last week, I indicated to you, Andy, the processes when it moves from Cabinet, how when it goes to Parliament, how they'll toss it to the committee will do the deliberations, bring it back to the House will do the debate, approve it, the President will assent it. It will take a certain, at least a month for it to take into effect. As we speak now, between now and when the Parliament comes back 2nd week of October, and when this will fully take into effect, we'll be hitting just some few days to election. So it's not been achieved. The same thing on the Creative Arts Court. You just made an announcement. It's like cutting a sword without actually even showing a plan on how to. You just made an announcement out of pressure. A lot of people gave you pressure from the creative community, so you just went to make an announcement. Oh yeah, and the court will be, but we have to wait in October when they come back from the legal vacation for us to know the modalities. You've not achieved anything yet. These are 6 of the promises they made out of the 18 promises. Now, for the purpose of the people listening to us, 18 promises, I can take it from the top, but let me look at the 6 that they directly made to the creative arts space. So 1, the culture policy developed and adopted under the Kufuor government will be reviewed and actively implemented to give our culture pride of place in our national development. It's not been done. We'll create a creative arts fund as at the previous election. It's not been done. This particular promise had been promised again going forward. Then they say that the MPP will collaborate with the Chief Justice to create a division of the High Court focused on the creative arts to deal with matters relating to intellectual property rights, complete with dedicated enforcement unit. It's not been done. The MPP will establish a Creative Arts Council to coordinate and harmonize the various interests and fragmented associations into a well-functioning body to protect the interests of members. It's also not been done. The MPP will collaborate with private sector to acquire the technology and equipment needed to log creative works in order to determine true and deserved royalties. Again, that has not been done. We will pursue the construction of modern large seating theatres in every region capital except Accra. I just mentioned that. That as well has not been done. So now the MPP comes back and says that, repeats it and say that, okay, now they've worked back on the 9 large seating theatres. So now, as it were, we understand that the 9 large seating theatres has not happened and will not happen. Because going forward into the manifesto, the new manifesto, the 9 has actually not even been talked about. She claims that they've done Kofodia, which they've not done. And she claims they are going to do what? Another one in Kumasi. complete the one in Kumasi, which have not started, and Takrady and Tamale. You know, so the point I'm making is that for a party that rode on the goodwill of the creative community, for a party that gave massive expectation to the creative community, for once and in the history of Ghana, no party has had the massive support of the creative arts community on their way to power. The NPP did. For the first time, we had an organized body of creatives, the Creative Arts for Change, advocating and campaigning for the NPP to come to power. They did. Of all the promises you've not made to them, the people are dejected. The members of the Agenda 57 who are part of 5PAC today, 5PAC had to resort to prayers. Because the state, yes, had to resort to prayers. And she dares talk about Mahama and what is done. Point of information that she needs to understand. Today, the National Film Authority that has been established, the law that established it was bred by Mahama. If she doesn't know that. That was actually supposed to come with a film fund. In they executing it, the film fund hasn't come yet. The last time when we heard about the film fund, the likes of veteran actor, filmmaker Kwanzaa and others were calling for 100 million cedis film fund to help produce films here. That was how it was supposed. That was how it was designed. When you came, you've not done anything, and you are coming in to throw shades at the person who established the law, the person who created the law for GAMRO, the person who left you some funds with the Exim Bank for you to actually advance and give to the creative arts sector. Are these people serious?
Okay. So, well, you've spoken, that's Sadiq. Mr. Logic.
Andy.
Right. Please hold on for me. Let's speak with Chairman of GAMRO, Mr. Rex Umar. Big bro, good morning.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
They say, Papa no.
Oh, Papa no, and
Papa no, sana me kaya man come back. Papa no. Anyway, well, thank you very much for your time. So we'll build a digital platform to help market works of artists. This was said by the NPP over the weekend. Is it good news?
They don't have a clue. I mean, if you say you build a digital platform to sell products of artists, what does that mean? What type of artistic work are they talking about? You know, some of these things, I mean, is just a political talk. Somebody who said he will come and then build theaters, 9 theaters in 9 regions. He has not been able to build one. Somebody who said, I will help artists to get, or GAMRO or whatever, to get login machines or login system or whatever it is. 3 months to election. They haven't been able to do it.
Right. So my question.
Then hold on. Let me finish.
No. Please. My question was that: is it good news? And
what do you mean by good news? It's not a news.
Well,
it's a lie.
Well, if it's a lie,
so how can a lie be a good news? It's a lie. They don't have a clue. They don't even know what they are talking about.
So, please, Sadiq, allow Rex Umar to speak. So,
Andy, when somebody lies to you, he promises you something and he's not able to deliver. And instead of him to come and say, look, guys, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to deliver, but next time I'll try to deliver the promise I gave you earlier on that I've not been able to deliver. Then you know that person takes you serious. But when somebody lies to you, gives you a promise, is not able to deliver 1%, then the same person turns around, looks straight in your eye, and gives you another promise. What does that mean? It means he has no respect or regard for you. And what they are talking about is the digital platform for artists to sell their products. Which artistic products are they talking about? Is it music? Is it film? Is it sculpture? Or is it kente? What are they talking about?
Well, if you heard the audio, Nanajo Asante spoke.
Just like always, they just speak. All blah, 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 blah. That means nothing.
What I'm saying is that she spoke about music. She spoke about people taking other people's properties. And she mentioned that all of these things will be over.
Masa, it's just a blah, blah. It's just a talk. I mean, sometimes it's laughable. You know, I'm surprised. A whole creative economy, an industry that can create jobs for millions of people. And this government trivializes it. You know, I mean, sometimes it's shocking. They have not shown any, look, For 4 years, when you came to power, the Creative Arts Bill or the Creative Arts Center Council or whatever, it has already been there. 4 years, we're still struggling with the bill. 4 years, 90 years, nothing has been built. Then they come and tell us that build the theater in Kumerica and Kumasi. I mean, for Christ's sake.
All right. So, Rex, well, the reason I called you was because of this. It looks like we're derailing. But so, as chairman of GAMRO, don't you think this is good news? I mean, let's set aside politics. Don't you think this is good news? I mean, if indeed they are setting,
do you know, Andy? Do you know the struggle we've gone through as an organization, GAMRO, to be able to just 2 weeks ago get an American company to come and help us? We've gone pain, everybody insulting us, saying all manner of things. Meanwhile, government has promised to help us for 4 years.
But if you want help from an American company, does that merit any insult?
What?
You said they've been insulting you. That's what I'm asking. That why if you need help from someone, does that merit any insult?
I'm just saying that maybe aren't you here in this country that every time musicians are complaining and we want login and we want login and the login and login. Meanwhile, in MPP's manifesto, they said when they come, they'll help us with login. And ask me, were they able to help us? No.
So till now, we don't have a system in place for the marketing of works of artists.
Marketing. What if you don't have a system? What if you say artists? Are you saying that the whole creative industry or the creative economy has been reduced to only artists?
No.
Is that what?
No. You are the chairman. No, you are the chairman of GAMRO, and so I'm asking that for artists because they produce music. That's what I'm asking. It's not just about the whole creatives. Because the whole creative, you are chairman for musicians, right? Good. And so if I talk about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not considering all creatives. I mean, if it's about all creatives, I may not call only you. I may go to other offices.
Okay. And I'm telling you that it has taken us so long. It is only 2 weeks ago that we have been able as a GAMRO in relation to logging music usage and perhaps maybe audiovisual usage on TV, radio, online, whatever, through our own sweat that we've been able to sign an MOU with an American company that is going to come and do this for us. That has nothing to do with Ghana government. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
And so if such news is coming up, I think it must be welcomed. It must be well accepted.
Andy, please, let us be serious here. If somebody lies to you and you consider it a welcome news, I'm sorry, you can lie to somebody once, but you can't lie to somebody 2 times.
All right, so what if it is well implemented? What if it is done this time?
The fact that they said they are going to bring something to market artistic work in itself tells you they don't have a clue. They don't even know what they are talking about. And that's why I asked the question. We have various artistic works in Ghana. Which one are they talking about? Is it music? Is it movie? Is it sculpture? Is it photography? Is it fashion? What are they talking about? They don't understand what they are talking about. That is what I'm trying to tell you. It means they are lying to you, just like they lied to you previously.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Logic, so you heard Rex Omar.
And I didn't speak on the platform.
On which
I started the preamble, but
because maybe I didn't go for fire.
No, but
you were doing pure politics.
Because
you were not being
you have played the video. You have played an audio.
Right.
So we needed to address the audio before we come to the particular topic. So I mean, on platforms, do you know why in more matured markets, for instance, the states are not actively involved in creating platforms? Do they understand? Maybe I need to have a one-on-one session with the lady that read it to understand exactly what she's talking about. Look, creating platforms, I've run some. I've introduced at least 2 of them into Ghana. So you understand some of these things. Creating platforms to market, the levels of it is serious. The last year while I was leaving Boomplay had gone in as an organization to raise extra funding of $20 million. Right? By the time I was leaving, that $20 million had been depleted. Yes. When you take the Boomplay app, for instance, that's what we call the freemium model. There's a subscription and the premium model. There are different models, right? Now the platform is not just creating the platform and then you dumping.
Is it freemium or premium?
There's freemium, there's premium. Freemium is you are listening to it, but it's free. You're actually not subscribing.
Oh, so you've called it freemium.
Yes. So the point I'm saying is that these platforms is not just creating and then going to dump it and then that's it. There's a whole levels to it. Look, at the time before I left Boomplay alone, my team were a small startup even at the time. My team was about 11. There were 2. As at now, I think they're about 15 now. But usually you're supposed to have a bigger team to manage. And what we were doing here was just simply managing brand, content, relationships, and then downloads of the app. So it took a lot more to be able to do it, and the private sector has always proved to be better. I know the NPP, when we panel them and pressure them, they'll come and say, oh, what we actually meant is public-private partnership. Often that's what happens. But you then have to ask them, what's actually even the component of the state going to be? Or they just mentioned it, or they thought that, oh, platform or anything. Look, there are platforms across the world already doing this work. There are platforms. YouTube is there. Netflix is there. Amazon Video Prime is there. Our talent, musicians already are earning money from streaming already. Speak to some of these talents, those ones that have their music gone up there and have been able to activate it across the world. They are earning money from the streaming already. They are having far more better deals with the Spotify. Tidal is coming. A lot of them are coming. Look, I did Boomplay. We launched Music Time. I mean, recently I helped to launch Music Time as well. Yeah, it's owned by MTN. They are in. There's number of them coming that you have no idea. I'm actually been working with one of it's an aggregator, but they are actually involved in advance, because we are recognizing that what these musicians need is there's a new financing model that is coming in the world where an artist, let's say King Promise, has done a song, I listen to it, I can offer him an advance, we structure a certain deal of a sort, so that the advance includes a certain fund that goes to him, and so part of it goes into helping to market and promote and push the song so he can get more streams, and then we all can share. That is coming. These people need that particular money. Your top talent, when they drop, they need to be able to have a certain fund. They are dipping their hand into their pockets,
and
right?
It goes down and
go in to try to create the videos and travel across the world to activate it. There's a financing model that is coming where we are all doing these advances. I'm representing one of them in Ghana now. It's a big aggregator. So this was a clueless promise. They did not understand exactly what they are talking about. In terms of audiovisual content as movies and all of these platforms, you need to understand that Kumawood, for instance, or in Ghana, those that are producing the movies to meet the standard and what Netflix and co want are structuring and getting the deals. Peter Sodifia is there, Shalifin Pomanso is there, Yvonne Nelson is also there. What these people need is a certain level of funding that would unlock. If you had the film fund, for instance, these people could apply for it, get it, continue to produce movies at a certain top quality for them to be able to get the same money from the likes of Netflix, because the Netflixes of the world have a base already, which is a certain audience. They have a certain massive adoption rate globally already. So what is this clueless promise are you going to look? Command, for instance, needs money to produce. Of your Exim Bank money that you are supposed to look, our creative content today have exportable elements. You have Exim Bank money that is sitting with you. Now you're supposed to be able to structure a deal that allows them to access some of these money, produce the movies at top-notch quality, and be able to retail it or give it to structure a deal with the likes of Netflix, Amazon Video Prime for them to actually make some money back, for them to actually even be able to pay back some of these loans. Your film fund is all not in. You've not addressed all of these things, and then you stum up, you say you go do. Who make you produce can put for there, and at what rate are you actually going to pay them when the likes of Netflix, Spotify, Tidal, and everybody is there?
All right. Well, Sadiq, Mr. Logic.
Andy, interestingly listening to Sadiq and Uncle Rex, you know, sometimes it's sad when we play politics with everything. I mean, initially you said Sadiq was playing politics instead of addressing the issue. I agree with you. Rex did the same thing.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You know, there's nothing wrong, of course. I mean, so I guess if I go that tangent, it's also allowed. Yes. I'm not an NPP member, but I am an independent voter. I mean, my only disappointment is the fact that it wasn't Mark Kukumante speaking, because the lady that spoke, the acting director of Ghana Folklore Board, it seems that she's not well properly updated with some of the things that goes on in the creative space. So she spoke. I mean, you could sense that it was as if she was reading a poem. Seriously, it sounded disappointing.
Like an intern that was
that was just blowing up some words. It sounded very disappointing. I mean, next time, please, issues on creative arts and creative issues, let Mark Kukumante speak. He is the only reason why we are not coming hard at some of these things. Mark Kukumante is the only reason why some of us are not hitting hard at some of the disappointments we have with government. He is the reason why we are quiet and patiently waiting. So anytime there's an opportunity for anybody to speak on creative issues, we want somebody who is verse inclined and also have a verse knowledge of what goes on in the space. Not anybody who sits in an office or on a board because the person is a lawyer or whoever, and then the person comes talking to us. We will start speaking.
And we need to ask. We'll find out from Mark after here. The members that were part of the Creative Arts for Change that helped to build the manifesto initially.
Yeah,
I want to find out how involved they were in these new promises that came.
Andy, my problem is not the promises she's making. My problem is the fact that the right person wasn't speaking. I'm not saying that the election for her to speak is wrong, but we want persons that we understand better, persons that we are with them on the field to speak to us, because you are speaking to the creatives. You cannot just make promises in the air and say we are building this. It's not built. If I hear stuff like this, it puts me off my belief. Because as I sit here, I believe that the NPP has started a good job, and that they need time. They need time to complete their work. That I will stand by. Anybody, if we have to go into what they've not done, what they've done, then I can equally also go into things that NDC has not done for how many years. I mean, it's allowed because look, if you start to blame government on policy implementation and then the fact that they failed, then your government will blame equally. Yeah. Yes, that's why I will accept a constructive argument based on the fact that you are dealing with the issues, but not blames. Sadiq, you understand? Because the blame game there to help us, because we can equally trace. Yeah, sure. What I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong saying that.
This is a style.
I'm saying that it is choice and
it's my choice.
That is a style.
Yeah, my disappointment. I've addressed my disappointment. Next time, Mark should speak. Andy, on the digital platforms, I think in Kwanudro and Senkwine. Thank you. If she says that they will create platforms for artists to sell their product, whether it be in artifacts, musicians, whatever artist that it is, let's wait and see what platform she's talking about.
Wait again.
Sadiq, we have to see. How long is 4 years? Sadiq,
no, bro.
I'm coming. If we should go into period and times,
what are you talking about?
A lot of blame will go to NDC. I don't want us to play a blame game.
Look,
I don't want to be NDC and banter this morning.
Gentlemen, please, no.
Because NDC has been here for 8 good years. Sadiq, Andy, NDC has been here. NDC has been here for 8 good years, Sadiq. They didn't pass the bill. You say they started it. But what stopped them from passing the bill?
Okay, so you want to know what
stopped them? I want to know what stopped them.
Okay, first and foremost, you need to understand the GAMRO bill, the bill that empowers GAMRO, was passed by the NDC.
No, that's understand. NDC, PNDC, we know they started this
whole about bills.
No,
or you don't want me to come in.
I don't want to go into all those details. I needed a clarification. You're saying that they implemented GAMRO. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is GAMRO not our right? It's our right.
Yeah, so
if you have implemented GAMRO, you've done nothing.
What argument are you
It's our right. It's our right as creative people to have a collective society. So it's nothing extraordinary.
What argument?
You implemented GAMRO, so I should clap for you. No,
what argument are you
it's like building a road.
You are making the argument that somebody.
I'm speaking on the creative art bill,
and I'm saying that yes,
I'm speaking on the creative, not GAMRO or any other thing. The creative art bill.
Yes,
that's what I'm speaking on.
Yeah.
You said that NDC started it.
No. I'm not saying. Look, what I'm saying, I didn't actually even mention about the start of.
Did say they passed it in the law?
I said they passed the Film Development and Classification Bill, which gave birth to National Film Authority, and it was supposed to come with the Film Fund. That's what I talk about.
Okay. I mean, it falls under the creatives. What they say. So what I'm saying is that I don't want us to do blame game, because if we do blame game, a portion of the blame will go to NDC. It will go to them. And me, I really admire the good work President Mahama did. especially the airports, the hospital, the regional hospital, and all these things that he did. The man had vision. But as we speak now, let's deal with the present. I'm not saying that President Mama is not good for us or NDC is not good. I think 2 days ago I did a post on my page, and you come and see insult. It's not right. We need to be tolerant with politics, because if I have a position, I say, okay, me, I believe in NPP manifesto. Sadiq believes in NDC. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have to insult him. He shouldn't insult me either, because it's our entitlement to whatever you believe in. But they'll be insulting you, calling you names. If you do that, that behavior is bad.
It's bad.
And it's bad. That's what I'm saying, that for Uncle Rex to come on the phone, I expected him to address the issue. He called the whole address, the ladies are addressing as lies. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate
but
no, you don't have to say lies, because I'm sure
it could be lies.
No, Andy, come on. I mean, lies is not the right word to use. Uncle Rex is our brother. No,
it is true.
Sadiq,
no, so is it true?
What she said, she only said you cannot call the entire presentation a lie.
So which part of it is true? Mention it and state your reasons.
He said that when someone make a promise to you, and the person failed to honor the promise, and the person comes back promising you again, that person is a liar. That's what he's saying. Look, if we should go into this sort of assertions, then we can start going into NDC's own promises they've made in the past, which wouldn't make sense. No, that is why you shouldn't call everything a lie, because give it test the system. She's making a promise on a platform. They have not delivered. The ones they've not delivered, you identify them. The ones that are delivered, the ones that are yet to be delivered, we are waiting for it.
Okay, so not to take your time, just a bit of clarity, to be fair with Rex Omar.
Yes.
For instance,
no, I'm not being unfair with him.
Okay.
I mean,
and even to myself, when we made the point that she was engaging in palpable falsehoods, is the fact that, don't forget, she indicated that they've made certain achievements. And I'm saying to you that it's either she was not briefed, she doesn't know.
That is why I said that next time on creative issues, they should let Mark speak. Because Mark is well abreast. Mark is well abreast on the issues, and he know which dimension he should go.
All right, so please hold on. Let's talk.
Mark, what Mark?
Sadiq, excuse me for a minute. Let's invite Trigmatic. Trig, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Andy.
You will be sir.
You will be.
Yes. But thank you very much for your time. So, Trig, the MPP over the weekend came up with their manifesto.
Yes.
Now, we just heard Nana Joa Dubi Asante. I don't know if you've been listening, but
yes.
Okay. So Nana Joa Dubi Asante claims that they're setting up a platform that will help market artists and their products. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you've been very passionate about streaming.
Yes.
Do you think this is good news?
Thank you so much, and greetings to your listeners, and then the pundits in Mr. Logi and my good friend Sadiq. I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, it is news as to whether it's good or bad. I think, to an extent, yes, it is good news, because we have generated the conversation, or this morning at least, we are talking about the industry, and then at least there's been an identified need to try and attempt to help the industry. We've been able to identify through the conversations this morning that at least there's a system that's broken that needs to be fixed. That's where, for me, the good news is. Or at least for a party coming into power, recognizing the need to assist the creative arts industry, for me, that is where my good news lies. But what I would say with regards to that is that just like Sadiq was saying, I was listening a while ago, but I don't want to politicize it. I would come from an angle of a musician. I think that maybe it wasn't so thought through. Maybe there wasn't much consultation. However, like Logic said, and I'm not the one saying quite, but the thing is that we must try and fix the core problems, because when these platforms still come, the problems will still be lingering. And that's, for me, where my issue is. We have to look at sustaining the creative ecosystems properly, protecting the right owners. We have to look at things like that, empowering the creatives. We have to ask questions. Sadiq was raising questions about the dynamics of the platform. And because I personally don't know how these dynamics are with the proposed platform, I don't want to touch so much on them. But let's look at priorities. I think that there are other things that could have been or should have been addressed in the manifesto. Then we realize that there then we would know that they are listening to us. Because for some time now, I mean, musicians have been crying, and the cry hasn't changed. I mean, for the past 30-something years, there has been one problem, which has to do with protecting right owners and also giving them their money's worth. Now, you spoke with the chairman of GAMRO, and I love the fact that he was able to identify that there is a problem when it comes to logins and stuff like that. And it goes beyond just the logins. It's the basic interest in protecting what the creative person is putting out. You know, so when these things are not fixed, and for instance, you put the platform and I put my stuff in there, what goes into, like Sadiq said, aggregators are already here. There are even local platforms that are already in existence, like the Uptowns and co. So how are they getting, what is the support base for such local companies? What is the relationship between they themselves and then government? How is the government looking at supporting these people? Are these platforms going to be government based, and who's going to manage them? Who is going to run them? Should they come in? Are they coming in now to serve as competitors for what the younger ones are doing with their existing platforms? Are these platforms going to compete with the world's platforms like the Spotify's and the Netflixes and co? So I wouldn't want to really touch on that because we don't have the dynamics of these proposed platforms. But I think that there are other problems that are still going to exist, even if these problems should come. So I per se, I'm not overly excited yet about that, because I mean, I feel that like I said, where my joy is that we are discussing it, and it means that the dialogue is being raised because a problem has been identified. But I think that if they really paid attention to the real needs of the people within the creative industry, maybe other things would have been proposed.
Well spoken. Well, thank you very much, Charlie. Maximum respect to you, Trey.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I'm so grateful for your time. All right, so that was Trigmatic.
I was on the floor.
Yes. Kindly wrap up for me, because there's another.
So some of these things we need to really be careful how we address them. I mean, the way we politicize everything in this country is sad. We don't understand that the system has a way of, swallowing and vomiting itself. Leaders come and leaders go. 8 years from now, I can't imagine where what will be the agitation, whether on the side of NDC or NPP. So I think the NDC people should take their time, because see the level at which they are pushing. Some are pushing Nadu to be out. I don't get it. Look, you cannot ascertain a good government within 4 years. You cannot, because if we should go into previous government, we will not be able to as well.
Right,
we will not be able.
Okay, well,
4 years.
Now you're also getting into politics.
No, let me do politics, because this morning everybody is politicizing. No, let me do politics. Please, because I support good policy implementation. Right, and I'm telling you that NPP is on a mission. Let's allow that 4 months for now. I'm not part of it though. I am for policy implementation. What NPP is doing for Ghana, we should allow them to finish up. When they finish up, they themselves will pack and go. I'm telling you, when they finish up, the system itself will pack them off.
There's never a time.
No. But you cannot tell me that after 4 years in government, you are pushing so hard that they've done nothing. When you were 8 years here, and the same problems were existing.
So hold on. Let's see if I can push you much further.
Yes.
Or much harder when we come back, because they say they will build more studios.
That side is very important. It's very important.
Nothing give up.
But they didn't say last 4 years ago. They're just saying it now. So I would like to tell the system. I would like to tell the system. I will tell the system.
They go build you theaters. Last 4 years.
Mark said it now. Mark said
it. Pass you
Mark said it.
Yeah, Mark said it.
But why you said
last 4 years? 4 years ago.
Logic. You need the funds. You need the funds.
Mark said it 3 years ago.
You said it 3 years. I remember the issues that came out of it. I was here, and I have
3 years, not before years.
And the 4 years. See, 4 years is a short period, though.
Yeah, Logic to build a studio.
Logic.
Ultramodern studio within 4 years.
And before you go,
I'm very sure by now the studio would have been done.
Let me ask you a
question.
question.
But you people said you didn't want it. That's why you.
Logic. Let me ask you.
That's why they forgot.
Logic.
Thank you.
Logic. Let me ask you a question.
You're complaining.
Logic. Let me ask you a question. Every government, when they are coming to power, understand that primarily you have 4 years at a time to deliver. So before you came in knowing fully well that let me
there are projections.
Are you serious?
What is that projection?
Are you telling me that everything? You are the reason why these politicians will continue to take us for granted.
Are you
talking about?
NDC
What are you talking about?
Sadiq, are you saying that
makes promises for you? Somebody makes specific promises for you. You Logic, they sit down here.
Oh, Sadiq,
within the last few weeks, you guys went to a meeting on the 50 million, for instance, for the state. Look, first and foremost, let me attempt to explain something.
As if whatever NDC
let me attempt to explain.
8 years ago,
let me explain something that I think that people don't get it. I see often I get it that people say that the creative arts industry is privately driven. The state doesn't need to get involved and everything. I say, look, anybody saying that, anybody claiming to coming from a certain matured entertainment market, who says this does not know exactly what it's talking about.
Who says what?
The state is supposed to actively enable it, and the ways the state enable the creative community or creative economy is by few things. One, laws that gives us a certain level of structure. Oh, let me build a point. Logic. You cannot build an industry without top leadership.
All right, listen.
You cannot build an industry without top leadership.
Hold on. Listen.
So far, you've not made any of the top leadership conversations.
Okay, you got it. Thank you. Listen, I'll be right back. Hold on. Please, guys, please hold on.
Give them a time
because you guys, I give you today. I'll be very quiet for you guys. We'll be right back. Guys, please hold on tight, listeners. We'll be right back.
All the music, all the variety, all the entertainment. Hits 103.9.
Welcome back here on Hits 103.9 FM, and that's new music from Nana. Say Ampo for J. Yes. What? This show is proudly brought to you by Vodafone, Tri-State Roofing Company Limited, Betway, and Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, have you heard that there's only one thing sweeter than your radio show that gives you all the latest concern in the morning? It's free morning calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. for 6 months, only on Airtel Tigo. Now you know. Simply get a new Airtel Tigo SIM, make a transaction with Airtel Tigo Money, and get free calls every morning for 6 whole months. And if you're already registered on Airtel Tigo Money, simply dial *110#, select option 2, subscribe for only 2 Ghana cedis, and share all your concern every morning for free. Buy an Airtel Tigo SIM today. Airtel Tigo Money. Life is simple. Charlie, there is some good news. Exclusive online day today. Maniac Monday at Melcom.com. With the success of Market Day Wednesday, we are excited to announce to you our new online exclusive Maniac Monday. Shop online at www.melcom.com on every second and fourth Monday of every month and enjoy an amazing 10% discount on purchases worth 750 Ghana cedis or more. But hey, remember, this offer is valid online at www.melcom.com. Discount is not valid for products already on offer. Super Saver cards are not accepted. For inquiries, please contact Melcom on 0596 911 818. 0596 911 818. Terms and conditions apply. Melcom.com. Shop simple, shop secure. All right, so let's get to our next story. We will build ultra-modern studio. We'll build 3 recording studios in second term, Kumasi, Accra, Tema, and Takrady. This is the MPP. The governing New Patriotic Party has promised to build 3 recording music studios when re-elected into power again. Well, this was revealed during the MPP's 2020 Manifesto launch on Saturday, August 22nd, in Cape Coast. The 3 recording music studios will be in Kumasi, Accra, Tema, and Takrady. Addressing party members at the gathering, the Vice President and MPP running mate, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, noted that Ghana was blessed with talented musicians who lacked quality facilities to harness their talents. I quote, "We see the creative arts as a major growth pole. It has so much talent. The problem is access to studio. As a result, we will set up large recording studios in Accra, Tema, Takrady, and Kumasi for recording artists to rent." Unquote. Can you give me your attention as we hear Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President, speak on it?
The creative arts has already been mentioned. We see the creative arts as a major growth pole. There's so much talent in the creative arts, but the problem they have is access to studios because there's no capital to do that. And so this is why we are going to set up large recording studios in Accra, Kumasi, Tema, and Takoradi as part of our entrepreneurial hub strategy in partnership with the private sector. So, and this would be for recording artists to rent space, do their recordings in these studios. The Creative Arts Fund is going to come up as part of the Creative Arts Bill that has been passed by Cabinet and is going to Parliament. And of course, the completion of the theaters in Kumasi and the construction of new ones in Takoradi and Tamale.
Right. So, you heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia speaking. Sadiq, are you okay?
No, logic suggests us to say, is there any theater in Kumasi?
Which theater in Kumasi?
No, the completion of
so
the
you
theater in Kumasi.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like to perpetuate lies, so even if it's a lie in Kumasi, I will identify it, regardless of my defense. Yeah.
You are the lie detector.
I'm telling you.
Now, so you had the vice president, right?
Yes, I did.
Sadiq, did you hear him?
Yeah, I did.
Right, His Excellency.
Yes.
Now, let's go back a bit. As far back as 2017, President of the Creative Arts Council, Marco Kumerica, announced in 2017 that the government of Ghana intends to build new recording studios and train engineers out of the country to help the falling sound of Ghanaian music. Check this out.
One of the things this government and work for the division, let's say, you have said standards in the music industry are falling. You know, Obi Ofi in Nigeria, and now South Africa, they can't Africa, and now you know. Now the year everybody see that's what's a drop.
103.9.
We are recording below standards. We want to move a notch higher, if not more than a notch, to ultra-modern studio, like 50, 60, 70, 80 track board. I guess that people say there was a software, college, sound engineer college, we say software is a real. The white people are still recording analog, they are still recording hardware, they're giant cassette, the cheap way. It's a RABC ultra-modern studio, and we'll go and train sound engineers with the makers of the equipment, so that you're recording will be close to what any international artist recorded in a year. You can still do your creatives, maybe I was away. To you, whatever, but we are, you have to come and finish it well. If we are, there's a master studio there, you go to the master studio too, you go and finish it there. See me in bar, you can compete anywhere in the world. Meaning, I go for attention because I've been really in the crowd. Sometimes you wish to say, but let's kind of making idea. It's over by and time.
So that was Mark Okukumante in 2017 addressing, excuse me, huh?
He said I should start it.
He says you should start. Okay, so Mark further spoke about the studios or the recording studio. Take a listen.
If I should give you the scoop, and it still went with me, we got our money. Creative Arts Council.
Cash Camel, Creative Arts Council.
And so from next month,
we are
going to see, like your studios. So we are going to get industry people to come and we think, yes, brainstorm. Where do you think we'll do our SWOT analysis? We'll do all that we need to do to then put a strategy together in the next 4 years. Where do we start and where do we have to go? So then we all together, we have a plan, and then we move with the plan and the manifesto. So we'll put the manifesto. That's what we said we're going to do. How do you want it done? Like I started asking, do you want our studio in town or out of town?
The studio you mentioned, I remember you mentioned, we discussed some world-class studios some time ago. Would it also be factored into this project?
With the studio,
or is it
with the monies that we are getting, we can afford the land and the building for in the beginning. This year we can start. Yes.
How much?
You go buy land and build the studio.
We go buy land and start the building this year.
Jones there, construction there. Don't go
hey,
there.
Don't go there.
We share baby, Papa.
But if you agree and you get your peace of mind to
actually, why should I put a studio in town?
At Jamestown.
I give you a studio. I give you a studio that when you go there, you have your apartment. Yeah, your bedroom, your kitchen, wherever. All the people who are coming to work, you live in that same compound. If it's you book for a week, you are there.
All right, so that was Mark Okekumante. Now, reason the studio never came up, well, Mark had this to say.
In the political space, there's something called agenda setting. When you want something done, you set agenda and then you wait to see if the interest will be there. But it looked like a majority of the people who spoke at the time didn't show much interest. Maybe some also had the interest, but they didn't come out strong to let us know. So it was a so-so whether it should happen or it should not happen. So the docket is not closed, but we still want to see people like the way people are showing the interest in the film village or creative art village. The music studio didn't show that kind of interest. P2 was, you remember P2 said it was outmoded, hardware, old school sort of, and all. And then even DKB too, they were not for, but they were also not against. The negative people were stronger. I'm sure the positive people, maybe Zamalet, Kiwa, but they were not strong. Most of these people are laid back. And you don't want to go and build anything that the industry will not patronize, and then it comes across as, oh, you just decided to build something just to make yourself happy.
So, in this case, I wish I would ask Mark.
What did the MPP promise it again?
Why did they exactly?
You see why I say to you that
you said I should speak first. So
Mr.
Andy, the last voice you played really, has really helped me to build my point, because, in fact, from the voice of the vice president to the lady, the acting director, and then to the first voice you played from Mark, I was so embarrassed because the contradiction was high. And then when you play the last voice, then
what was the contradiction?
I mean, the contradiction in terms of the theater being the completion of Kumasi Theater, and then Mark saying that they have the money. I mean, from what you played, the money is here, so from this time we can start building. And then the final vocal was when he said that, I mean, they've been like partnership is a bit shifted because of the argument that was on radio, the negative argument. That's where I understood Mark. You see, I think the MPP government, to be frank with you, Andy, they are pushing Mark to the wall. Not the MPP government, but those who are in charge of that sector, the sector where the Creative Art Council belongs. Let me not say the government, the sector, the arts sector. They are pushing Mark to the wall, and they are making him commit himself. Andy, they are making him commit himself in most cases contradictively. It's not right. Look, the man said he received the money. Then the next thing we heard is, a shift in plan because agenda setting came in. Partners, negative comments from industry stakeholders pushed the partners away, which I agree with him, because when this studio issue came up, people were asking for the money to be given to them so they can build their own studio. It's not done that way. It's a state-owned studio that they are building to serve the industry. You don't ask for the money to be given to you. for your individual facelift of your studio purposes. You understand? That is not done. So all those who were asking for the money, because the money didn't come to them direct, those were the ones that were out there insulting the agenda and saying that it was not necessary. We don't need studio, but we need them. We need them. When you go to Jamaica, they have Anchor Studio, big factory. You can Google Anchor Studio. You can Google the Top Gang Studio. These are studios where most of the top-notch productions were made. You understand? So if Mark was pushing for a studio, it was in the right direction. But the negative energy in the industry, I don't know why people, and let me say this here today, I don't know why our people hate Mark so much. We hate him. We don't allow him to use his influence. That's why the government or the sector is not taking most of the things serious. Because this speech that was made by the acting director, Mark was supposed to be the one to speak. But then I went through the folklore board. I went to check their duties. Yes, it's in the right direction, the lady spoke, but she's not updated with the issues. You understand? So some of these things we should encourage the government to support Mark's mission. We have to encourage the government. We have to push positively. No, I mean, as a president, you can be a puppet president. You can be there and then people will be whining you left and right. We know how it works. We've seen sectors upon sector, even the rent. We have a rent law. The housing minister, we have a rent law that says that should legally allow landlords to have tenants pay for 3 months and 1 month rent. What do we see? 4 years, 5 years. Yet we have a minister for the sector. You understand? So you cannot blame Mark for some of these lapses. You have to blame the sector.
Mr. Sadiq, and you listen, Mr. Sadiq.
So I mean, this comes back to the earlier point I made that the NPP had disrespected the arts space or the creative economy all this while. They've disregarded it, and it goes against what the lady said at the manifesto, that we have a president who takes the industry at heart and all of those things. If indeed is a president that takes the industry at heart, 4 years, first and foremost, not being able to achieve a single of the promises you make to the sector, and then you come in again to look at us to continue to contradict yourselves in this particular way. This is embarrassing to say the least. But it's not only the fact that it's embarrassing. It tells you how clueless they are, the MPPs are, relative to how to enable the creative economy.
Building a studio.
Clearly, they do not know. Not building the studio. The contradictions, the back and forth. I have an interesting view on the studios. And I remember when Mark came in, I was one of the first few people that said, why not? But I said it within the context of a more academic and thought leadership space. So this is a point. I know there's a move from the other side to sort of consolidate, say, NAFTI and other institutions into one university with, key campuses across in 3 regions. If as part of the new NAFTI university, these sound stages and studios and everything is built, it gives us an idea to train the next batch of people. So if you remember, when I supported Mark, I said it within the context of build it, however, let it be run by the likes of NAFTI so that you can use that to train the next batch of people that will take over industry. So you don't only teach them the creative element of it relative with the studio, but you also teach them the enterprise element of it so that when they come out, they understand fully the business as it should be in these types. You understand? So, but like I said to you, consistently, maybe we need to actually even sit down with them. But knowing how the NPP has behaved all this while for this particular 4 years, look, I have no doubt in my mind that, again, they are clueless to it. And that goes to the point that I said that I don't think that the creative arts people that are in the party were actively involved in the current manifesto. Other than that, they would have tracked back to look at the issues, to look at what was happening, to look at how certain things had happened, and to inform how they were going to go forward. Clearly, they've moved from the 6 initial promises out of the 18 made to the sector to 4, and clearly they are clueless. There's no information. Look, these guys, the total disregard for the creative economy, which holds a lot of potential. When I keep saying the creative economy, I think people do not actually even understand. Look, the creative economy spans advertising, public relations, events management, music, film, fashion. Look, it spans a whole lot of other subsectors and holds the power and has the opportunity to employ a lot more people. Any government that prioritizes the creative economy as a matter of policy, state policy, to enable it, open it up, That's a whole lot. The creative economy has the opportunity to also put us on the map and enhance our tourism potentials and promotions. Look at how these young guys, even with their own funds, are putting us on the map, getting the exporting content from here and consistently doing the most, even without any, state enablement of a sort. What do you take the space for? Make all these promises.
What has that got to do with everybody? What has that got to do with
promises?
Hold on. What does that got Sadiq, please? What has that got to do with
politicize the whole thing? It's
connected to it because you see, it's a promise. I'm saying that it's look.
So deal with the studio.
Deal with the when you go to the entire promises of the manifesto, it's more like politicizing the whole thing. It's connected to it.
It's a promise that has been made again to the space, and clearly, and from the things they spoke about, they are again clueless about it. Trigmatic and put it succinctly and said that look, there are underlying problems.
Clueless as in the entire government or the sector.
There are underlying problems.
Is it the whole sector you're talking about? The entire government?
No, the sector.
Now,
of course, that's why I said the creative
economy. The government is clueless. It's more like you are kind of
clueless in how to enable the creative economy.
But Mark is
patronize us for so long.
Hold on. Let me ask you something.
Patronize us for so long. It's getting to disrespectful levels now.
Sadiq, please, excuse me. Do me a favor. You've openly declared your
NDC,
your stance as an NDC
man.
Forgive me if my question may sound political, but what did the NDC do for the
Thank you.
arts?
Okay, so you asked
Thank you very much,
Andy. There are a few things. When your mama
came,
no,
specific.
Don't
go. He have a way of directing his submission to trick you. Please be specific.
First of all, very intelligent and smart.
That's why I don't want you to beat your mind. Be specific, please.
For the party I belong to, first and foremost, I mentioned about for every industry, you need to have a certain sense of structure. Laws give industry a certain sense of structure. First and foremost, in enabling the creativeness, in the film and declassification bill was passed by the NDC government. It was supposed to have come before we lost power. It was supposed to have come with a film fund.
Yeah, before we lost power. Hear what he said. Not before they lost power.
Make a build a thing.
When I said you have the opportunity, it was supposed to have come.
Yes.
Now, before this, hold on. Before this, you said this is a bill.
There's a bill for film. What created the film authority?
All right. What delayed it?
Yes.
Come again.
What delayed it?
It was passed in 2016. So when it was passed in 2016. I told you about how laws take into effect.
What month?
It takes
what month? Oh no.
Yes.
No, you the NDC
yes.
exited in 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Yes. So no, are you
why
saying
waited till 2016? Thank you.
Okay. Before 2016, there were a number of things. First and foremost, I indicated.
You see what I'm saying?
No. Sorry, guy. Make it no more. I know the baby. I call transit.
NPP only have number of things. Oh, number of things. Now you understand.
From 2013, Andy. From 2013, first and foremost, Andy, you're listening. Andy, you're listening.
I'm listening.
First and foremost, GAMRO in 2012. The law and whatever gave power to GAMRO in 2012 was passed by the NDC government. First and foremost. Beyond that as well, we all saw the 2 million CDs that went to music.
Right.
Obviously, it's not been managed well. We all know the stories that came out with it. Beyond that as well, Arctic, that host Mark's office, was established by them. There's a money that went to the Cultural Forum as well. Now, Exim Bank was created to enhance the exportable product, which included creative arts. There were funds that were supposed to enable it as well. The NDC lost power. They came in. The Exim Bank funds, as we speak of it, has not been.
The question I asked you, just tell me what they've done.
I've mentioned to the government.
You are done. So what has?
No.
Why are you contradicting it?
Wait. Arctic, the Exim Bank provision to enable creative art exportable product. All of these things plus more renovation of tourist facilities and all of that for the creative arts community.
So which of the tourist facilities? Which of them?
A lot of tourist facilities.
I need to know if
I need to give you a list of it.
I need to know.
Okay.
All right.
From Elmina, Cape Coast, going into the Volta region.
I come from Cape Coast.
Yes.
No renovation has been done there. Where?
Which of the
Kakum village?
No, not Kakum alone. There's a Elmina Castle as well.
All right.
But you see,
now let me read this from my let me read this from my manager, Yasapon Kumerica. He says, what Sadiq is saying there, I want to explain it better, but they've lost the entire point. Using the wrong terminologies, etc. They keep mentioning aggregators, etc. It doesn't have anything to do with government. It's an institutional problem. Government has to initiate policy, but the work has to be done by the institutions. For example, GAMRO, as a performance rights organization or collecting society, doesn't even have the right resource and structure to execute. How does that become the burden of the government? Misinformation and miseducation, na yebreno chief. 1. Infrastructure. 2. Talent. 3. Publisher or distributor. 4. Aggregator. 5. PRO. Performance rights organization. Until we have the right people to man those spaces, we won't make any progress even if the government pumps in $1 billion. Well, this was Sapon Kuma. Well, my manager right there. And Makafu boy says, seriously, this manifesto is a problem. Well, Fandy, good morning. I don't want to comment on the job in there. We hear Taya, Kwame Benetton, Blake Jericho. I mean, Kalusha says, good morning, Andy. I think it's about time we forget about this MPP and DC government, because I have realized that whenever it remains 4 or 3 months to elections, then they keep promising us. I'll be reading more of your comments, but hey, let me tell you, we are a nation of survivors. Even in the face of adversity, we still rise. We rise to celebrate our culture, music, and artists. This is the moment we say to ourselves, nothing can stop our music. The 21st Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, live online and on TV, Friday 28th and Saturday 29th August at 8 p.m. each night. The VGMAs 21, produced by Charterhouse, with support from TV3, DSTV, KPMG, media partners, and brought to you by Vodafone. Experience real 4G on Ghana's only gigabit network. The future is exciting. So the VGMAs is happening this weekend, and we should go and represent. Now, have you heard that there's only one thing sweeter than your radio show that gives you all the latest concern in the morning? It's free morning calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, Charlie, just continue talking. For 6 months, it's only on Airtel Tigo. Now you know. Simply get a new Airtel Tigo SIM, make a transaction with Airtel Tigo Money, and get free calls every morning for 6 whole months. And if you're already registered on Airtel Tigo Money, simply dial, beg your pardon, with star 110 hash, select option 2 to subscribe for only 2 Ghana cedis and share all your concern every morning. Airtel Tigo Money, life is simple. Now, Imanyakung said, good morning, Brandy. We don't need those things in the morning, especially that poem manifesto. That lady was so noisy and it's irritating to hear. I had to turn off my radio and turn it on again. Kwame Apon Ashia says, and for the first time, no party has made an improvement in the Creative Arts Council except MPP. Foster J said, Andy, you carry an NDC man to discuss this issue. There's no way he's going to say something positive. Good morning, Andy. Oh, but Sadiq has been here and commend the MPP on several occasions. Sure. Or Sadiq, you know this one before. I have. When his name turned from Sadiq to Sadia.
You see, these things we need to treat it. Why is it easy for lawyers, pharmaceuticals, everybody to get involved in politics and drive the thought leadership of state policy related to their industries, and it's difficult for us that have the microphones, that has all the influence to actually get involved to direct the leadership of our various parties? Why is it difficult? Well, this is the reason that we continue to see the cluelessness with regards to how these politicians.
Right. No, last he says, I don't think the MPP consults the inner and right creative arts players well before coming out this platform thing. The Ministry for Creative Arts should even know better. I'm not against the manifesto, but this didn't convince me at all. Ghetto Bobby says, Mr. Logi, too much sense. Straight to the point. Very objective. Andy, Sadiq should stop interjecting him. Kwaku Skanti says, Andy, good morning. The lady said it all, but I think it's a political talk. But let's give Nana Dudakwa 4 more to see more promises.
After wasted our first 4 years.
Riela Shatter says, Andy, today I side with Mr. Logi. The second time he's speaking like an elderly for me on this show. Oh, Charlie. Mr. Logic,
I don't go mind now.
What would I do? Oh, last he says, please ask Mr. Logic whether he has said. Excuse me, hold on. He says, Andy, please ask Mr. Logic whether he has heard of the COVID-19 tracker app. Where is that app now? That platform will be a total fraud to Ghanaians. Ghana, we did. The thing is, okay. At Enoch Nanapia says, if GAMRO chairman is well known to be an NDC, how do you want the sitting party to come in then later campaign against them with the party song? For me, it is not right. They need to be appointed and not to be voted in. Otherwise, the story will be the same. Kwaguskan said, this is why our country, Mother Ghana, is not developing. We criticize the government when we are not on their side. Sadiq shouldn't have said all our lies as well as Rex Umar. Well, there are too many comments. Unfortunately, time will not permit me to read all of them because DJ Black is already in. Well, thank you very much for listening. I really enjoyed today's show. Sadiq, tomorrow we'll continue. Tomorrow, let's find out from Akukre Kumanti.
Yes. Why,
after saying in 2017 that there will be studios, and they're coming back to say that, well, because stakeholders rejected it, he has also let it slide. Well, why has it come out again?
You make people they can't insult on our boss.
Oh, why? Oh, please, don't instigate that.
When they
let's find out why.
When MPs on the ropes,
probably he proposed.
If MPP there on the ropes, then you people know marking phone. Why you know go call the people who do the manifesto and
yeah, Mr. Black is ready to he's ready to mash it up. Thank you all very much for listening. My name is Andy. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye for now.
This is Hitz.